Alrighty. My name is Kate with Scott Leroy Marketing. Today we are going over email campaigns. So we're going to go through how to create the design and how to send that out. I'll also be able to pull it up and show you guys what it actually looks like on the other side when it's sent out. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing you want to do is log into Command. You access Command by going to agent.kw.com and logging in with your username and password. Once you're logged in, you'll be on the home screen. Now, don't worry, yours might look a little bit different from mine. These are customizable to a certain extent, so some of the features may look a little bit different than yours. You can always adjust that. Before we jump into the physical design within Command, I like to take a look at the marketing profile. Now, the reason that we want to take a look at the marketing profile is that that information in that specific profile does feed information over to your website, to your consumer app, as well as some of the marketing within Command. For example, designs. Some of the marketing in the email templates specifically pull from the marketing profile. So we do want to make sure that that's up to date. So that's the first thing we're going to take a look at. And you can access the marketing profile under your name in Command under the top right. You'll hit that little drop down. And from there, I like to point out that the My Profile is not the profile that feeds information. So some people will get those two confused. My Profile is primarily an internal profile, and the information on that does not feed to any specific platform. So the one that we want to take a look at is actually found under Settings. And once that loads, we then want to take a look at Connect Settings and the marketing profile. Now, if you've been with KW for any length of time, this is the primary profile that used to exist. They've recently added the new one, but this is the one that feeds all of that information to all of the important places that you want it to go to. So this is, in my opinion, the most important to make sure is up to date. You do want to make sure that that is turned on so that that little green light is showing. And then we'll just take a look at the primary pieces specifically for email designs that we want to take a look at to make sure they're completed. So the first thing would be your agent photo. The recommended size is the 360 by 360. If your photo is not 360 by 360, we generally do recommend resizing that. The reason for that being on some pieces of marketing, if it's not the exact 360 by 360, your head can be cut off at the top. It can be stretched out and distorted. So it is just best to have that at the 360 by 360 size to make sure it looks the best on all of the various marketing that it will go to. The next thing we want to take a look at is this team logo. So this is especially important for today's class. This logo does pull into a lot of the email campaigns, the templates that are in there. So even if you're not on a team, you will want to have some type of logo here. Now you could use a couple of different things. You could put a different headshot here if you wanted. If you've branded yourself as a solo individual agent, you can put that logo here. Or if you don't have either of those, you can simply put a generic Keller Williams logo there. Again, the reason for that is that that logo does pull into almost all of the email design templates if you're using any type of footer. And if you don't have a logo there, it's going to appear broken in the template and when it goes out. So you do want something. Next thing is, of course, your first and last name. License number is not required to complete the marketing profile. However, there are certain design templates that if you don't have this plugged in, you will see an error. So super important to plug in your license number if you have that. Again, you'll get that error if you don't have it plugged in. Other things not required, but definitely plug in if you have them, are these items here. So team, job title, slogan, designations and credentials. If you have any military affiliations, you do have to have a bio of some kind, whether it's the generic KW provided bio or one that you've created. Phone numbers are required, email. Your website is another one that if you do not have on here, you may see an error in specific templates where it is pulling that information. So make sure you plug that in. You do want the full URL. If you're using your KW website, they do not require a www. And if you include that, it will cause your website to fail when they're trying to go to it. So just keep that in mind. Other information that's required, Market Center information, so logo, and there are other information over here. The logo does not have to be 360 by 360. For whatever reason, this is the one logo that it will resize automatically for whatever piece of marketing, whether it is that size or not. And if you need help finding your logo, you can go to KW Connect to find that under marketing and logos. Next is any compliance you might have. If you have legal footers that you need links for, images, social media links you can include, of course. And then, of course, if you have Google Analytics, you can add that here. Again, not all of this pertains to email design templates, but a lot of it does. Once you're done, you'll just go ahead and hit save. It will take all of those changes and apply them. And once you're all done there, we can go ahead and head into the design section of Command. So if you're not familiar with designs, you can click this red and white KW. It will expand your applets, or you can hover over those specific icons until you find designs. So we are covering email campaigns. However, we are going to start in designs and create our design before we pull it into an email campaign. So we want to take a look at this one that looks like a paintbrush with a pad behind it. So we're going to click on that one. Now, the reason that we start in designs is because if you don't start in designs, every once in a while, we'll see an error come through when someone is creating a design within the actual campaign. So we just recommend creating it first and then pulling that in. Now, to get started, we want to hit this Create Design in the top right corner. Once we do that, we're going to take a look at email today. If you're interested in any of the other features within designs, you can definitely check out one of our other classes. We do cover all of those. But for today, we're going to take a look at email. Now, once we're in here, we're going to see that we are being provided with the generic templates that are provided for KW. So there are a total of 73 of them. Based on what you might be trying to send a email for. You can certainly take one of these and customize it however you would like, or you can create an email design from scratch. So we're going to take a look at both today, but before we do the templates, we're going to take a look at creating one from scratch. So in order to do that, we're going to simply hit create a new template. Now, once we are in our template, you're going to have the title up top. We're just going to put newsletter since it popped up. And I'm going to go ahead and do March. You can title it whatever you'd like. The next things that we have are the preview options. So you can view it from a desktop, a tablet, or a mobile device. That's going to show you the different ways that it appears when they're viewing that specific newsletter or email from those specific devices. And then we have over here where we have view components. That's going to be this over here. Preview, if you would like to preview what your email looks like. We'll take a look at that again in a second. And then you also have an undo and a redo option. Over to the right, we have the options dropdown. That's going to allow us to preview, send a test email, or download the template. And then we have save and close. And then we have all of our various different pieces of content over here on the right. That is what we can add into our template to get started. So we're going to take a look at all of these for today's class so that I can show you how all of them are used. And I always like to start with the legal header and the legal footer. Now, as you can see, I'm simply dragging and dropping that. And you'll see the little green line. That is going to tell you where it's going to drop that. Now, in this case, it knows that the header and the footer are supposed to be at the top and the bottom. So it places those where they belong. Now, this is where I was kind of talking about the marketing profile. These pieces here specifically pull from your marketing profile. So as you can see, they appear to not be plugging that information in. The logos appear to be broken. If you click that little eyeball to preview, you will see that in fact those logos are showing. You can see everything is there, everything is working. It's pulling all of that information directly from your marketing profile. Now we get asked this question a lot. The address displays twice. Unfortunately, the marketing profile currently only allows for one address. And for whatever reason, they have it plugging in twice there. It cannot be edited or adjusted. So just know that it's going to allow that twice. Now this is that team logo. So if we did not have one there, it would in fact send out with a logo like this and look like it's a broken image. So that's the reason you want to make sure you have something plugged in there. And that's the reason I said that it could be an agent photo or a generic KW logo. We just don't recommend putting the Market Center logo again because then it will appear twice right next to each other. Moving right along, the next thing that we have is a text box that we can drop in. So again, if you click on that, drag and drop over, you'll see that green line. It's going to tell you where it's going to drop that. Once that's there, you can click on the box and hit the little pencil to make edits to that. So you can change the text. I like to highlight it first. You can change the text, the font, the size. You can make it bold, italic, underline, change the color of it, depending what you're creating. You can center, move it to the right or to the left, and then all of these others. You can also insert links. Once I have that there, I can go ahead and start filling it out. So I can say hello. And then let's say that I want to add the contact's name. So for every email that this goes to, I want it to plug in their name. That is what these merge fields are for. So you'll notice if we click this, it's going to give us various options. So first we have agent information. If we keep going down, we're going to run into Market Center information. Beyond Market Center information, we have the KWLS information that we can pull in. And then we have contact information and then a few others. So Market Center brokerage number, legal footers if you have them. But we're going to take a look at these contact ones. So I want to apply their first name when I'm doing this. So I'm going to say hello, contact first name, reaching, you could, whatever you want. I'm just going to type some stuff. Easter is coming up, so we will go with an Easter theme today. As you can see, it took that size and font and color away, so I'm just going to go ahead and add that again. Every once in a while, you may need to do that. Actually did a different purple, that's okay. Now that we have that there, I like to show everyone that what that looks like when you use that contact first name. But before we do that, we want to make sure we hit done. When we're done applying the changes here and editing the text, done is essentially your save right here in this specific category. So if we hit done, it's going to apply that to our text. So we'll see those changes instantly. If we just X'd out of that, it's going to say insert text here. It wouldn't have saved that change. Now that I have that contact first name plugged in, I want to make sure it's working. So I'm going to hit this little preview. And now you're going to see that I have this search contacts option up at the top. If I click on that and just select a contact, you'll see that that's what that's going to show when this email goes out. Now I do like to mention if you're sending yourself a test email, it's still going to say contact first name. When you're sending a test to yourself, you're only inputting an email address. So it's not associating that email with a contact. So it's not pulling that contact name. So when you send yourself a test, it's going to still appear like this. Keep that in mind. The best way to check it is through the preview by pulling down one of those names to make sure it's working. Moving to our next category though, we're going to pull in an image. So I will go ahead and hit apply image or drop image. Now, these are images that I have previously used on a email campaign. It's not pulling emails from or designs from my designs library. It's pulling anything that I've previously used on an email campaign. So I'm going to quickly grab a Easter photo so that we can pull that in. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to grab one from coming in. So I'll show you guys how to do that. Again, you can't pull a social image directly in from designs. So you would want to create that under social and download it to pull it in. So I'm just going to grab one real quick from the designs library. When it loads. If you guys have any questions as we're going through the class, though, feel free to drop those in the chat, and I'll either read them throughout or we'll come back to them at the end. I'm going to assume this is probably in April, even though March is when Easter is this year. So we're just going to grab one of these. I'm not really going to edit it at all. I'm going to remove the DVA. Normally you'd want to replace that with your own. I'm just going to delete it so that we can quickly pull it into our email design. Download. So normally, like I said, you'd want to switch that out with your own logo, but I'm just going to grab the image to make it quicker. And you'll notice it's downloading over here. There it goes. Now, if I go back to my design, again, that's not going to show up here. I need to do add image, and then I'm going to browse for that image on my computer. And I'm going to quickly grab that download. Now, as you can see, it puts it down here. I still need to click on that. You'll see that it has a greenish blue teal kind of box around it, and I'm going to go ahead and hit save. Once I do that, it automatically puts that into my design. Now I can resize it by hitting on the pen when I'm clicked on it. I can go ahead and resize it here. It is going to give you maximum sizes. So you can't make a image too large when you're doing this. You can link it. So if you wanted them to click on this photo, whether it's on purpose or on accident, and send them to whatever website you want to. So if you wanted to link your agent website here, you most certainly could. I'm going to link the Scott Leroy website to the image. So if they click on that, whether it's, like I said, on purpose or by accident, it will redirect them to the Scott Leroy website. I can also center that, do border radius, add additional or alt text. But once I'm done, I want to hit done again. That is always my save here. And then it will resize that so I can see it. And so I can keep going. So now when they click on this, when the email goes out, it will have a link. The next thing we want to take a look at is the button. So I'm going to drag this and drop it below. Let's say we're having an Easter brunch for all of our clients. And I want them to register through, a Google form or Eventbrite or something like that. I can put register here, add that link. I'm just going to use Scott Leroy again, but if you had a different one, you'd want to insert that. I can make this width bigger of the button. I'm going to do 220 and I'm going to leave it at 40. I can also change the font again. Center, the background color can be changed again. We'll go with something a little bit closer to what our image has. You could even do the dropper. So if I wanted to grab a color specifically from this, I could do that as well. If I want the edges rounded or square, I can do that. And then if I hit done, it's going to edit that. So now when they click on that, it will take them to whatever page that I want them to register for the event. And they can go ahead and get registered. Now that I have this color, though, this is bothering me, so I'm just going to change the color here to the dark blue. Done. Okay, moving along. The next one that we have, we've already done the legal header and footer. So the next thing that we have is the listing block. So we're going to go and drag and drop that. Now, as you can see, I can go ahead and click on this and edit the same as before. And then I can go ahead and find my listing. So if I'm advertising all of my listings, let's say I have 2 or 3 and I want to advertise them all in this newsletter, I can go ahead and select that. And then I can search by all listings or my listings. I can search by address, MLS, or KWLS ID. And then I can search over here. Now, I don't have any listings, so I am just going to search for something. We'll just do Main Street. It's always my go-to. And we're just going to grab something. Load more. Maybe we'll find something. We'll go ahead and use this one. Now, once I do that, it's going to give me the property photos. We can go ahead and just grab one, hit select. It's going to use that photo here. I can then apply the address. It should pull all of that from the MLS, but you do want to just verify that it is accurate. Let's see that I created a landing page or an open house sign-up sheet just to capture their information. I could link them to go directly to that landing page or website. I don't have one created, but for example, let's just say I did. I could go ahead and select any of those and then redirect them to that page when they click on that. Now, once I'm done, I again want to hit that done. And then if I wanted to pull in another, I could do the same thing. Again, a lot easier if you have your listings. You can easily pull those in. We do recommend using the MLS ID. It's just a lot faster when you're trying to pull those in. I'm just going to select this one so we can keep moving, verify everything, link it. Oops. Hit done. Oops. Okay. So as you can see, it's just going to make that the same. Now up here when I did an image, you can also use a listing there if you wanted to. Let me show you that with a different, let's drop a photo here. As you can see, I can also look for listing images here. So if you didn't want to do them as the listing block, you can certainly still add them this way. If I add that by accident, I can go ahead and hit that trash can. Now beyond the listing block, there's an event block. So this would have been great instead of using the button. It's kind of up to you how you do this. This is going to include a button in the entire event block. So we'll just go ahead and change this. Let me see if I can find a really quick photo for us to use. And then let's see. See if I can save this one real quick. All right. So now that I have that, I just hit replace and it will allow me to again find my image from my already used or add an image. I just quickly downloaded one. Replace. Again, same thing. Link to, if you want to include your page, you can go ahead and add that here. If you want to change the width, the height, the border, all of that good stuff, you can do that here as well. I'm going to make this, let's just do 300. And then we can go ahead and hit done. It's going to add that. And then I have the other options to edit. So we can go ahead and hit this. Let's say we're doing Easter brunch with the bunny this weekend. So we can do March. Let's see, I think this weekend is the 23rd. At 11 a.m. Go ahead and hit done. Again, it's going to fill all that out. I don't like how this is all the way over. I wonder if we resize that, if it will. Nope, that just made it smaller. Here we go. Wanted to center it. Let's go up a little bit. As you can see, if they go too big, it's going to give you those red numbers right there. Like I had a second ago, which 320 might be the biggest it will let us, maybe. Yeah, I think so. But then you can also edit your title again. So Easter brunch. Go ahead and hit done. And then again, like I said, you can keep editing the rest of this. This is the same as the button, so it's going to allow you to edit that the exact same way. Again, you can also drag and drop on this. So if we want to do the purple, keep it square, done. It's going to edit that as well. So that is the event that you can add. Next is going to be a video. So I like to mention with the video, it does have to be a public video. It can't just be a video you recorded and are trying to upload from your computer or something like that. Generally, the best way to upload a video here is to have one on YouTube or something. Even if it's your own personal YouTube, you just need that public link. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and grab a URL from a video here real quick. And we are going to hit the edit button, same as always. Put our URL there and hit done. Now, you'll see that it doesn't really show anything. I will show you guys in the, I'm going to send a test email so you guys can see it. I will be able to show you guys how that actually looks. Now you can also include a thumbnail. So that will give you a little picture that goes with it. I think I have one already in here from a previous. Nope, I guess not. We'll just grab one really quickly, no big deal. There we go. Now it will put that photo there once we hit done. So it gives a little same thumbnail as it does for the YouTube. Again, those videos just have to be public. So the best way to do it is YouTube. Next one is the Market Snap. So this allows you to pull in market statistics. And you can select a specific neighborhood and pull that in. That information is pulled directly through Nextdoor. So the information cannot be manually edited. But let's take a look at how to edit that or how to add that information. So I always like to grab the SLM zip code. And we'll go ahead and post that here. And then it will pull up the neighborhoods. So then you can go ahead and pick one. So we're just going to grab one and see what comes up. Now, sometimes you get some good stuff, and sometimes you may just need to pick a different neighborhood. Unfortunately, like I said, there's no way to manually edit that information. Let's keep looking. You can see it's editing the information. You just kind of keep picking one until you find one that is matching what you like. Otherwise, you can create your own image with your market statistics and just upload an image if you don't like the market snap that's in here. So that is all of the features within this here. I do often get asked questions about the inline text. So let me just show that specific feature really quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the text. This should hopefully, no, I don't think that's long enough. Give me 1 second. We're just going to find some text that's a little bit longer and I'm going to pull it in. Let's try this here. See if this is long enough. Done. So we're going to take a look at the inline text that is within the text editing button. So as you can see right now, the text is going past the image. Generally, if I were to hit the use inline text, and I say generally because last time that I did this, it didn't quite work. See if I move it up. Still not working. So what this is supposed to do, maybe they're editing this. We have had some design hiccups lately. I think they're just making some updates. What that button should do is allow the text and the image to align. So we'll have that text stop and wrap at the same place as the photo is. Apologies that that's not working, but generally that is what it's supposed to do. Hopefully if they're working on that, they have it up and running soon. But let's keep moving. The next thing I want to do, I'm just going to take a quick look at the preview of my email before I send out the test. Now, as you can see, for whatever reason, the neighborhood photos are not pulling in. Those should be working. So if they're not, you may just want to remove that and create your own for now. But it should have a photo there. It will send out like that. So if you send it, it will look like that. But we are satisfied with this. We went through all of the various content within the email design. So what I want to do now is I want to send a test so that we can take a look at what that looks like. So I'm just going to go ahead and send that over. And once that comes over to my email, I will pull it up so you guys can see it. While we're waiting on that to go out, it shouldn't take too long, but I'm going to go ahead and save, and then I'm going to close out of this. It's going to ask you again, do you want to save? I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. Now from there, my email design is right here. I'm going to head over to campaigns because we're going to get this ready to email out. And I'm going to check my email while we're waiting on that to load. All right, so I did get my email template or my test. So here it is. This is what it looks like. Again, when I send that email test, I am not associating that with a contact, so it's not going to show contact name. It's just an email. If we scroll through and check that out though, oh hey, the neighborhood trend did pull up. So this is what it should look like. I don't know why it wasn't working in the email preview. But we are all good there. So once we're fully done, I'm going to send this to myself. I do want to show you guys the unsubscribe button. It doesn't show in the test or the preview, but every email sent through command will have an unsubscribe option at the bottom of the email. So we'll take a look at that once we send this email campaign so you guys can see it. So we will go back. Now from here, we're going to be doing email campaigns. So I'm going to come to email. I'm going to go over this dashboard with you. So you have emails, how many were sent in the last 30 days, how many recipients, how many opens, clicks. You do get 5,000 emails per month. So if that is not enough, you may need to upgrade your account. That is with your command mail. You can certainly upgrade here. From there, you can search emails, check mailed, scheduled, archived, and drafted, as well as all. You can find the goal, which we'll take a look at in a second. The channels that you send that through. So you can use MailChimp or Command Mail. We don't really do anything with MailChimp. We primarily use Command Mail. And then you can take a look at your email lists, which we are going to take a look at. We do recommend creating your email list before you get into the email campaign. Again, just less room for error when we do it that way. So that's the reason we recommend that. So let's take a look at that first. Email list. From there, it's going to show any of my previous emails, email lists that I've created. So you can come in and edit these. You can create a new one. I have a habit of creating a new one every time. The reason for that being is if you have a contact email list that's based on a specific tag and you're adding new contacts to your database with that tag, it's not going to manually update the email list. So I generally find that it's easier to just start over, but you can certainly come in here and edit to add those additional contacts with the tags. It will let you do that. For whatever reason, I just don't ever do it that way. So for today, we're going to take a look at creating a list. Again, you do need to decide MailChimp or Command Mail because they are two different lists. So we're going to do create. From there, I'm going to create my name. I'm going to do 321. And then I'm going to find my tag. So I always do the cartoon tag. Once I do that, it's going to pull up any of my contacts with that specific tag. If I had more than what's listed here, I could hit load more and keep loading more until everyone with that tag is included. It is only going to show those with an email address. So if there's no email, it's not going to allow you to add them to the email list. But once I have everyone loaded, I can go ahead and select all, confirm that I have 11 contacts, and hit confirm. Now, again, if I were adding new contacts with that specific tag, it won't update that list. So I will need to manually go in and edit that. You can search by tag. It will show you those that are not selected if you keep searching through them. Once our tag's ready to go, though, we can go ahead and hit create a campaign. Now, again, we're doing email campaign today. If you are interested in any of the others, we do have classes that go over those. Once I hit email campaign, I need to title it. So newsletter, I'm going to do March. Now, again, depending on what your email is about, you may want to select a different one. If you are just sending out your listings, if you are just doing, hey, I joined Keller Williams, select the goal that fits that specific email. Mine's newsletter, so I'm going to do other. If I were just doing about the Easter Bunny brunch, I could just do event awareness. Again, it just depends what your email includes and what your goal is for that specific email. So event awareness, I'm using Command Mail, but if you're using MailChimp, you can click that here, and we're going to go ahead and hit create campaign. Now from there, we are in the campaign section. So again, campaign name is entered. I can change the goal if I want to up here, if I said it wrong. The account that it is going to be using. Keep in mind when emails are sent through command mail, they are going to come from a email that looks like this. There is no way to edit that. That is the way command works. But anyone that replies to this email, those replies will go to this email that is on the account. So if someone were to reply that, you will get it in your inbox. Next thing is our emails. So who we are sending this to. So I'm going to select my email list that I already created. Now, again, you can create and edit that here. We just recommend doing it first. Send from, it's going to show my name. As you can see in this, it does come in as my name. And then reply to is going to be that email. You can edit that if you want to. It's going to take you to the settings to change that under the command mail. Oops. So that is right here. This is where you can change the email as well as manage your subscription if you need more than 5,000. From there, we need to do our subject. So I'm going to do March newsletter. And then we want to select our design. Now, every once in a while, I'll get somebody email me at our support email that says, hey, my design is not showing up. Generally, they created a social or print design, not an email design. Only email designs will pull up. So you can only select from email. Once I have that, it's going to bring me back into my design. I can just make sure everything is good to go and go ahead and save and hit the X again. Once that's done, my email preview will show up over here on the right so that I can see that. I can still go in and edit or update that design if I need to. I can again do the preview. Now you'll notice I can't check the first name here. It doesn't have that up here. So just keep that in mind that you can't check to make sure that's working here. I can also do the test email again, save draft. If I want to schedule this to go out at a certain day or time, or if I want to go ahead and send now. Now I'm going to go ahead and change my email list so that I can send it to myself so you guys can see that. So give me 1 second here and we will do that. I'm going to hit save draft so you guys can see what that looks like. And then as soon as I send this and we can take a look at it, we'll take a quick look at the other templates. We should have enough time for that. We have one, perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go in and edit this. And I'm going to do, oops, not create. We're gonna just change it to myself. And we're gonna go ahead and hit send. I can see that it's one recipient. Send. And then once that comes over to me, we can take a look at it. Sometimes it's really fast and sometimes it just takes a few minutes. You will notice that it is going to show processing. It's going to show processing for usually 24 hours before it changes to mailed. The reason for that being is it's sending out and it's capturing the data for the sent, clicks, unsubscribes, etc. So we can take a look at what that looks like down here. Let's click on one of these. When I click on that, you'll notice that I get a bunch of different buckets. So this is going to give me details on everyone that email was sent to. It's going to tell me how many were sent, how many were actually delivered, how many opened the email, clicked on it, unsubscribed, didn't send, or did not open. Now, not sent could be for a couple of different reasons. You can try to resend those. It does have that option. If you were to select all of them, you could do resend or remove. But this will give you all of the breakdown of all of the emails that were sent out and, you know, good stats on if what you're sending is valuable to the people that are getting it. Because if they're not looking at it, you may want to change it up a little. But once that sends out, like I said, it can take a little while. If it takes too long, we'll take a look at one of the past ones that I've sent. Let me actually see if I can find one so we're not sitting and waiting too long and we have time for the templates. Oh, it came through. There we go. All right, so let's take a quick look at that. So this is the actual newsletter. You can see that it changed to March newsletter, doesn't say test. You'll see it's including my name. I don't know if my computer's just taking a minute for the photos to load. That did not load just yet. But you'll notice all these links are going to be clickable. So if I click register here, it's going to take me into that site. If I click on the video, it's going to play the video from YouTube. All of that is working. The last thing that I wanted to show you guys is this unsubscribe. So it's really small, it's real tiny, but if they click unsubscribe, they can go ahead and unsubscribe from that. It gives them two options. They can unsubscribe from this specific email type or all marketing emails from the sender. So just know that that is available for them and you don't have to worry about manually adding that to your emails. It's going to automatically add those. All right, let's close out of that. Now let's go back to our designs just so we can quickly take a look at the templates. I like to give us a few minutes for any questions that maybe came up, whether you have them or not. We'll have a few minutes for that. But back to designs and create design, email. And then we will come into this. Now I want to find one that has the, I think it's this one, the license and website so you guys can see that. So we're going to click this one right here, hit next. Now, as you can see, it has all of the template already here. So various pieces of marketing. So if we click the eyeball, we can kind of see, hey, that's the logo. It has my information. Now, this is where that license information and website comes into play. If you don't have these in your marketing profile, you're going to get some type of error when you try to save or send that's saying your license failed or something like that, because that information is missing. So make sure your marketing profile is up to date, make sure your website's up to date and licensed, and those will plug in. Again, not all templates have those. It's just various ones. But as you can see, this template is very different from the one that we just did. This cannot be added unless it's already in the template. So that's why when I say, if you like the footer there, delete the rest of the email and start with just that piece, because you can certainly delete as much as you want to just use that part. Totally up to you. The app though, I don't think the app pulls in, so you will want to edit that information. You just want to get the link from your consumer applet and plug in that URL. That will then link that. That's the only one. There is no app option in the marketing profile. So when you have to download my app, if you don't edit that and add the link, it's not going to take them anywhere. But once I have all of that updated, website will say website, however, it will link that. No, it's pulling. Oh, I can't see it, it's white. So it is right there. You'll see that it's going to pull that information, but it does continue to say website. It won't actually put your URL there, but it is a hyperlink. You could change that. You could edit that text to say your actual URL and then link it. That's up to you. But once we're done, we just hit save. Again, you'd want to go in and edit all of this, but it's pretty much the same as what we covered, so I don't want to spend too much time on it. But there are tons of templates for, like I said, lots of different things. If you have an open house, if you have holidays that you want to send stuff out for and you don't want to create your own, definitely check out all of the various templates, find the ones that you like, and definitely start editing those to your liking. Again, event one, if you want to just use that one. This is another one that has, like I said, the any of them that have this contact me with the app and the website, this is one that is going to fail if you don't have that plugged into your marketing profile. So, alrighty, guys, we have about 10 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and stop record. That way, if there are any questions, we can go ahead and get those covered. If you don't have any questions, I hope that you learned something from today's class, and I hope that you'll join us again. Have a great rest of your week.